I'm gonna do a quick video. There's been a lot to happen today. Somebody highly likely poisoned me today again. Just like they did the other day when I was sleeping over by, um, 12th and Harris, and right around the corner is a karaoke bar, and I kind of blamed it on that bar. But somebody had done something where they had my nose breathe up something, and it made me for the last couple days start doing jerks and stuff, non-consensually, basically involuntarily, and having symptoms that I started, like I was actually looking up what it would be like if somebody had like put you on um an antipsychotic sort of drug, like some type of psych drug, because I know that psych drugs can make you do that sort of thing. Of course, I don't need those, but the cops did kind of show up after I said that something had happened. I could tell something had happened. Um, but then today I was at the library, and one that I wasn't trespassed previously from, and this dude showed up, um and he's the same guy who was saying that he loads butane up in the inhalers, and he's there. I'm pretty sure this is totally the same dude. He also, one of the first times I had gone to the Mount Vernon Library, he had showed up, and he was stalking me where I was at the very back of the library, sitting in a chair, um, with my laptop plugged in, and I was doing fine, and then all of a sudden I was like falling asleep and but feeling like poisoned. Like feeling like there was something, you know how when you're poisoned you have stuff wrong with your face? Um, and that's one of the symptoms of like being tired, is like all this stuff wrong with your face. I don't know how to explain what that feels like, but it feels like a poisoning. Um, so I had that I believe that was a couple months ago, and he was behind the bookshelves stalking me, just watching me the whole time I was there. And I felt like he was watching me because I was barely conscious. And I didn't know at that time if it was my illness or if I had been poisoned. Because it's really hard to believe that I've been poisoned so many times. To, like, let's face it, you know, people are sitting there acting like it's mental. It's not mental illness. I can tell you that much. It's not mental illness. Um, the likelihood that I'm being drugged or poisoned is relatively very high at this point. It's very, very obvious that these people are doing it. It's hard to say how many of these times it is drugging and poisoning, and how many times it is the after effects of what they've done to me, right? And how they've ruined my body, how they fucked up my liver, and how they fucked up like other organs in my body, and having that kind of stuff happen while they're not poisoning me right now, kind of situation. So anyway, this guy showed up, and he was behind the bookshelves, right? And this is the Mount Vernon Library, okay? I don't know anybody there. I don't have anything to do with anybody there, okay? There is no reason why anybody there would believe I was mentally ill, because I don't behave mentally ill, okay? I don't behave mentally ill. No one's ever thought that I've behaved mentally ill. They just go online and lie about it, right? So I was just sitting there on my laptop. That's all I was fucking doing, right? and I was trying to work. And I believe at that time I was trying to get myself situated so that I could start writing to like the FBI and possibly the White House and other places, and saying, this is happening, and that it's highly likely because of the court, that they're poisoning me, that I have had no due process, that they were poisoning me when I was in housing, that when I was in the subsidized housing, I was near death. Okay. And that's not an exaggeration. I was fucking near death. I, like, I felt like I could die at any time every fucking day for like a while when I was in there. So, because they were doing so much stuff, whatever the fuck it was that they were doing, whatever the fuck it was they were putting me in on and putting in my food, or whatever the fuck they were doing. It was really bad in there. I spent like weeks barely having any time where I was conscious while I was in there at one point. So, like, anyway, this dude was was a couple months. I believe it's been a couple months now. One of the first times I ever went in there, it was either the first time or the second time. I believe it was the second time that I had ever been in there. Because I think the first time was only in there for like 10 or 15 minutes, because the library staff started talking about me immediately and started lying about who I was and acting like I was a criminal and all this other shit. So I left, and I was like, oh great, people have been calling them and lying about me to them and trying to get them to do shit to me, like they've done with Ferndale, like they've done with Bellingham, like they've done with Fairhaven, right? So that I can't work and I can't earn money, right? And so they're like planting seeds in their little heads. This girl's like so fucking criminal and blah 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 blah, right? Well, this guy shows up like the second time I've been into that library. I had never had any problems, never did anything wrong. I never do anything wrong, right? So I go in there, I try to work, I feel completely fucking poisoned. I have massive struggles keeping myself conscious and aware. Okay. I keep slipping. Like there's something really wrong. I don't know what happened to me. I don't know if someone put drugs in my fucking soda, like, well, I wasn't looking, because I probably wasn't looking, because it was Mount Vernon and it wasn't Bellingham. You know what I mean? Like, there's not supposed to be someone stalking me in the Mount Vernon library. So he was behind the bookshelf, and like that's right there in front of me, and he would just stay there for an hour and a half, just standing there staring towards me. And the library staff came and talked to him during part of it, after maybe he had been there for half hour or whatever, and he was saying something, he kept on saying something about butane, 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 it's butane, she's on butane, blah blah blah, or something like that. And um the library staff sounded like he was accusing him of giving me something, of basically drugging me with fuel. I'm gonna assume butane means isobutane, like the canister fuel. So at that time, I'm sitting there like, what the hell does butane have anything to do with anything? Like, how the hell could he put me on butane? Did he pour fuel into my drink? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, I'd be dead right now. I wouldn't just feel poisoned, I'd be dead. Like, I mean, that's what I'm thinking. Like, I'm thinking like this butane thing, I don't understand what it means. Well, today I saw him when I got poisoned again. And he was sitting there, and then um there was somebody. I didn't see him at first. There was somebody that was walking back and forth. I passed out. I came to, and there was somebody walking back and forth saying something about antihistamine and inhaler, something like that. Like somebody had come up to me and somehow did some kind of thing with an inhaler and left. Well, the dude wasn't there at that time. She finally left because she was on the phone calling somebody and saying something, and then she left. And then the dude came back, this dude that's on the phone, that it's on the picture, and he sat in front of me for a little bit. And he had somebody call him, and he picked up the phone, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm wide awake 'cause my wifey, like, she wakes me up at 9 a.m. every morning, and I'm a productive member of society, blah blah blah," or whatever, right? And I knew right away that he was talking to library staff. I just knew right away. Um, just because of the way he said it, like you could totally tell that he was talking to library staff. And then I remembered after he left, probably an hour later, I remembered or excuse me, like an hour later, he actually had left and come back and walked by me with these wacko retard sunglasses on and his inhaler out in his hand and walked by me. And that's when I fucking remembered who he was when I saw him with the sunglasses on. I was like, oh, it's the retard guy. So I've seen him seldomly, kind of just places. I believe he's been in different cities. But I've rarely ever seen him, but I believe that he's been over by the bar at Port Townsend. He's been at the Mount Vernon Library. He's been in Bellingham. I suddenly remembered him coming up to me about probably a year ago saying that he was going to have me killed after a while because he had like this little tube thing that he said was butane, and that he was going to be administering butane. Um, which I'm assuming means he has it in his inhaler, is what it sounds like. But I also don't know, how is he getting his inhaler up to me without me knowing? How am I passing out like that? Is it something where, like, as soon as you breathe in the fuel, you don't remember how you passed out? Like, how is this happening? And I know that my neck has had a lot of problems, especially whenever I go through this time period of like being poisoned or having weird unconscious shit go on. My neck always has fucking problems. And so I've been telling people that I might have a neck injury, I might have a head injury that's causing these unconscious things. Um, but there's these like dirt type things, like I suddenly will go like that for no reason when I'm going unconscious and can't keep myself awake. And it's like stuff that's never happened in my entire life. I feel like it's a mess or something. Like there's something crazy. Like this isn't supposed to be happening. This absolutely is not supposed to be happening. There's something not fucking right. And so like um I've even told the doctor, and they couldn't come up with anything. Like freaking, or at least at the ER. And anyway, I remember him coming up to me and he said, "I'm gonna kill you with butane," and then walked off. I don't know his name. I don't know who he is. Like, he just said it randomly like a year or so ago. And the freaking I'm pretty sure it's the same dude. I'm pretty sure, like, I'm probably at least 80%, maybe 90% positive it's the same fucking guy. Especially with the information that I just got, because he's got to be the same person that was behind the bookshelf, and he was saying something about butane or something, and then like um freaking what else is I? There's so much information. Oh my god, there's so much. So that day, I was like barely conscious, but I was starting to kind of wake up some, right? So he comes out from behind where the shelves are. I think I hear the library staff or somebody being like, you need to face her and make sure she knows that you're here or something like that. And he comes around the corner, kind of waves at me, and goes to leave, and here comes this other dude that looks like Travis Decker. And he kind of smiles and waves too, and they both walk out together. Now, I was like, who the fuck are those people? And I didn't recognize them, right? Um, but I swear it looks like he looked like one of fucking Travis Decker's photos that they keep on putting out. And at that time, like, I did, like, okay, so here's what's really, really, really weird. So this dude said something like, the sun is setting right now. I don't know what the hell. I keep on looking over there because I keep on hearing him bang stuff at the filling station, and I know that Siegel goes over there, so I have to like make sure he's safe. Um, but he went home for the night a minute, like before I started this 20 minutes ago. Um, Mister's not standing on his roof right now. Um, so I didn't want to make this long, but fucking seriously, if this is the same dude, cause I think it's the same dude. Like I think it's the same freaking dude. Um, they came around the corner and were like hi, and then walked off, and I'm like, what? And um, I was thinking about it later because I just placed that today, where I was just like, wait a second. Like, I swear to God, that looks way too much like Travis Bicker. Like, but at the same time, like, there's all these different pictures of him that look like different people. So I'm just kind of like, which one is Travis Decker? Because there's no fucking way all of these are Travis Decker. Like, the fuck, right? Like, is because this guy, he looked like one of these pictures, but um, but not the one that they said was current. He didn't look like the one they said was current. He looked like somebody, like one of the other ones. But they freaking what else was I gonna say? I was gonna say something. So I had this memory pop up of a dude that I went to go look at a room in Olympia where the dude said the same exact thing. as this dude did on the phone. So I thought that was really freaking weird. But I was wondering if it's the same dude because he looks a lot like that dude. But get this, like when I was looking at that room, there was a couple of military dudes that were trying to look at the room that I feel like looked like Travis Decker, but it's like it can't be though because it can't be this many things. It just can't. So I'm just like trying to like siphon through that. Um I also got given this bag that has shoes in it that I think is really sus. Just super freaking suspect. Somebody gave me an old hiking pack with a pair of shoes, and when the sheriff dude was making his interview thing, he said that there was a hiking pack with a bag of or a hiking pack with shoes or whatever. Like I don't know how to explain because that kind of sounds crazy, right? But like seriously, somebody's trying to give me a fucking super super used up bag with the super super used up shoes, and it was just really suspicious. How to like I don't know how to explain it. It was really suspicious because he just really wanted to push them on me. It was really weird. It was just weird, but it probably has nothing to do with it. But there was like I was kind of thinking about it like a bunch coming back up here on the ADX because it was like, dude, I swear to God, like this feels like someone's planting something on me or some shit. Um, and I almost wanted to look up what I could about like what they found in the woods where they were saying they found some shoes and shit. Like what type of shoes? Um, but now I have to figure out how this guy could possibly be doing something to me with butane and whether or not cuz it probably would make you do things like weird little jerks in this thing with your head and all that kind of shit that probably would happen if somebody ingests fuel or breathes it into their lungs um through like an inhaler type of shit. It probably would, like, but I haven't looked it up. um But I spent like the last several hours thinking this dude has something to do with Travis Decker, and I'm just like trying to like process that. Like, am I really actually sure? Because that dude really fucking looked like Travis Decker. And then on top of that, there was somebody talking to some kids behind me several times, and I never saw him, but I think I saw his arm with tattoos or something. Maybe there's a piece of me that's like, is that where I saw those tattoos at? Because I swear to God, like every time when they first, like a couple weeks ago or a week ago or whatever, when I first saw his tattoos, I was like, I swear to God, I seen somebody with those tattoos. Like, I absolutely have seen somebody with those tattoos. I don't know where. Um, but in any event, the library at Mount Vernon discriminated against me to the point where they literally locked up their outlets, and were acting like I needed to be where they could monitor me, basically, even though I'm a 40 or 30-year-old adult and I've never had any problems. I've never had any problems with anything. And um I was being poisoned when I was in the seating area at the back of the library, which was not comfortable chairs. She kept on saying, "Oh, there's chairs and tables." Well, they're not comfortable chairs. Okay? Like you guys had this front area and people were using the outlet here and the people were using their computers here just fine and you had no fucking problems with it. And then I come for like 2 different times, and all of a sudden you've got to like lock up the fucking outlets because you guys have a fucking psycho problem. Because I know that it's because I went in there. I got him know it. I got him know that they're fucking lying about me. And they're coming up with all kinds of delusions and all kinds of stories about who I might be and I'm this kind of monster and I'm this and I'm that and they da 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 and like coming up I mean literally these people are coming up with delusions like their heads are in storybooks and they've read too many fucking psycho fucking horror movie books or some shit like they've just like they're psycho, completely fucking nuts psycho. And so they locked up the fucking outlet and then they started coming at me to like leave because I wasn't allowed to sit where everybody else is allowed to sit. And then um like everybody else was allowed to sit there. Everybody else. Everybody else was allowed to charge their stuff there. Everything was fine. You know, people could use the fucking library the way it was intended. I'm online because normally most of what I do on my laptop is work. That's not illegal. That's not a problem. I'm not talking to anybody. I'm not having anything to do with anybody. I'm not disruptive. I'm not doing anything goddamn wrong. And these people just won't stop having issues where they're acting like small fucking children. We've got to control the homeless. We've got to control the homeless. We've got to figure out how to punish them. We've got to figure out how to punish them. We've got to come up with more punishments. We can't let them leave the library. We can't let them use the outlets. We've got to punish them. We've got to figure out how to punish them. And it's just like their brains are goddamn fucking potatoes. They're mashed potatoes, just flattened fucking mashed potatoes that a truck has run over. Like they can't even fucking think like adults. Can't even do it. Just can't do it. And like, and even if you point it out to them and are like, look, why don't you want a homeless person to work? Because we have to punish you! And it's just like, what the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck is wrong with these people? They are fucking psycho. They allowed this person to poison me. They literally were having conversations with him where he was basically telling them that he was poisoning me. And his ass is still in the library and not in jail, and they're not calling the cops on him. And they're not talking to me about how they know that he's poisoning me and helping me call the cops on him. But then I get trespassed because I'm sitting at my fucking laptop working completely fucking silently, not talking to anybody, not having anything to do with anybody at all, and using an outlet. Because they locked up the other one, so I used the other one that was at the hall. Like kitty corner to the one that they locked up. Because they locked up the one where you would sit and actually fucking be able to do shit away from them. And away from them staring at you. And away from them talking shit about you. And away from them fucking making up stories. Because that's literally all these fucking librarians do. I don't know what happened to librarians, but they're all doing it. The Cokeville Library's doing it, the Ferndale Library's doing it, the Fairhaven Library's doing it, Mount Vernon Library's doing it. They're sitting there lying. And you're supposed to sit there around them while you're trying to work? No, I fucking think not. I can fucking sit out in the fucking hallway where everybody else was sitting and everybody else was working on laptops and shit. There was no one there while I was there, but there were so many other fucking days that I went there and there were other people doing it. And nobody had a problem until I sat there a couple times and then they fucking locked it up. Because I'm against drugs, I'm against crime, I'm against people that are fucked up, I'm against liars. Like, it's like, I don't know what the fuck is going on. Like, the world has gone fucking psycho. And then when they called the cop on me because I raised my voice at the bitch that wouldn't stop coming up to me like every 2 seconds and saying, "You can't sit here." And I'm like, "I'm trying to finish my post. Somebody was poisoning me and I'm trying to finish writing about it. I'll go as soon as I'm done with my post." And she's just like, boom, 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 boom. Like, no, lady, I'm 43 years old. I can finish up my goddamn fucking post. You can get your ass and walk your little fucking lion ass tush that wants to sit there and fucking make problems with people because you want fucking drama. You want to be able to lie about everybody else, but you don't want any fucking adult consequences. You can take your little 5-year-old fucking tush and get the fuck back over by the fucking desk. And I didn't say anything like that to her. I just fucking raised my voice and told her I was fucking going as soon as I fucking was fucking done with my post. But they kept on escalating and escalating and escalating every 2 seconds. "You can't be here. You can't be here. We've changed the rules. You can't be here." Dude, there was a lady that was sitting next to the blocked outlet. When I walked in, there was a lady on her laptop without it plugged in, sitting there. I don't know how long, but she had been sitting there. And she was sitting there for at least 45 minutes after I got there. They never came up to her. They never came up to her. So I finally raised my voice to them and was like, "I was poisoned. I'm, finishing my post. You guys allowed me to be poisoned. I'm finishing up my goddamn fucking post." Right? So they call the cops. She raised her voice, she raised her voice when she said something about being poisoned, blah, 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 blah. So the cops come, and the cops have the fucking audacity to tell me that I have an attitude. Like, excuse me? They're allowing people to poison people. And I have a fucking attitude? Like, this is the kind of bullshit, though, because this is what I'm getting from everybody. I have never had an attitude for my whole fucking life. I've never met anybody that's ever thought I've had an attitude. But for some reason, everybody thinks that everybody can steal from me and everything's okay. Everybody can break into my storage unit and everything's okay. Everybody can poison me and everything's okay. Like, you think I'm not gonna fucking have an attitude when I'm talking to you? The fucking audacity, dude. What the fuck is wrong with these people? How the fuck do these people live? And then they're like, you're cussing right now. And I'm like, you're allowing people to poison people in the library. Like, I don't fucking care about the kids right now. I was going to pack up and leave, and now you're fucking telling me that I'm trespassed for a year because I was working online on the laptop, not talking to anybody. And they're like, "No, you're fucking getting trespassed because you have an attitude." No. Um, an attitude? I was sitting there silent on my laptop. What the fuck, lady? And then they literally locked the outlet so that people can't get on their laptop in peace away from all of the drama of their fucking staff. Like, literally, all I was fucking doing was trying to get some fucking work done. I kept passing out because they allowed the man that had already told them that he was poisoning me to be around. So I would have probably been awake and fine and working and then left 2 hours earlier. But I kept on going unconscious and passing out for no fucking reason. I don't know why. Like, so now I'm trespassed from like every fucking library within the last like 2 months. They've trespassed me from every fucking library. And you know what? When I was in the Port Angeles library, I literally heard a library staff person laugh at somebody that was calling them on the phone and be like, why the hell would I do that to somebody? And told them that they wouldn't be doing anything to any library patrons. And she hung up on them. And I can almost guarantee you it was about me. I can almost guarantee you. Because there's people out there that don't want me to work. And they want to be able to human traffic me. They want to be able to steal all my photography, be able to get on my computer all the goddamn time, steal all my work, erase all my shit, and they're probably trying to make me look bad for court. I have never been trespassed from anywhere in my entire life. I have never had any problems with anybody in my entire life. And now all of a sudden everybody's a goddamn problem. I've had like $50,000 worth of thefts that I've had to deal with. How many of them have been arrested? Zero? I'm pretty damn sure it's been zero. Maybe one or two at most. Then I'm not sure about. There's been like maybe two where they kind of sounded like they might go talk to them, but then you don't know if they arrested them or not, and it was like on like, they stole my food or they stole like little shit. But nobody's been arrested for breaking into my apartments. Nobody's been arrested for breaking into my storage units. Nobody's been arrested for, definitely nobody that's middle income ish, like where they're living in houses, has been arrested. Nobody's been arrested for going on my laptop, my phone, any of that shit. No criminals ever fucking get arrested. But I'm getting trespassed from the libraries for being completely fucking silent, not talking to anybody, not doing anything fucking wrong, and trying to be able to get some work and trying to be able to earn money. because nobody wants me to be allowed to earn money. I can almost guarantee you with like 98% positivity or 99% positivity that these same people have gotten places like Zazzle and Redbubble and all them to lie and make sure that my stuff doesn't get seen. I can almost guarantee you. And they've probably told them they work with the courts or their law enforcement or some other story. And some of it might be right, but could be law enforcement telling them to. Because none of my stuff like on Zazzle and things like that, where you can see the back end and see if it's gotten seen, everything's zero. Stuff I've had up for 2 years straight, 0, 0, 0. Redbubble, 0. Everything's 0. It's not even in the marketplace. And my stuff is better than most other people's stuff. At least that I've seen. At least that I've seen. Or a lot of it is. And a lot of the stuff that's really good, they actually have taken down secretly. But I believe that's people that are going into my accounts and erasing it. But anyway, like, it's been 40 minutes and now I'm like, have my voice raised and like the whole fucking neighborhood could probably hear me basically. Um, this whole thing is just, it's, yeah, oh my god. And I don't know if this whole Travis thing is the same freaking thing. They seriously do. This motherfucker said it. Like, he literally was telling them. He literally was fucking telling them. And that's how sociopathic nutcase people are that work for these cities right now. Is like, I don't know how these people can possibly fucking exist. Like, they're just, this isn't even, there's a flag in there. This isn't even America anymore. I don't even know what fucking country these people come from, but it doesn't feel like they've been raised in America. It doesn't feel like they've been raised in a first world country that, I mean, maybe it feels like they've been raised in America. Maybe that's the problem. Um, holy shit, man. Talk about serious issues. Like, I can't think of a time that I ever had an attitude with anybody prior to like 40 something. Like in my 20s up. Just like, but they're sitting there like, oh, you're homeless because you have an attitude. Oh, nobody will help you because you have an attitude. Oh, you're getting trespassed because you have an attitude. You're getting all these crimes because you have an attitude. Blah 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 blah. And it's like, dude, I spend most of my life talking to no one. I barely ever, like, I have spent prior to this court case, I have spent months not speaking to a single soul. I don't think it's my attitude that's the fucking problem. I mean, it really fucking isn't. They just think that I'm not allowed to talk. Like, or something. God damn, dude. These people are a fucking nightmare. These people are a fucking nightmare. I mean, it's one thing because, like, it's one thing to treat criminals like there's something going on, but to fucking, mm, I gotta end it because it's slowing down, like I'm losing memory.